play right, cause they can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
Running back situation, I'd like to see Kyle Juszczyk get utilized more.
Hey, Jadakiss fan out here. What? D-block. Sorry. Oh, yeah, Juszczyk. How about that? It's another guy that can throw 3-yard passes, too. He'd be perfect.
Blake, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the more they run, the better. So if he's on the field for more plays, that's probably good for the 49ers. So, yeah, I'd have to agree.
Yeah, I think that I'd like to see him get utilized more. Honestly, when I saw this pass game, a lot of the reasons I was not so worried about the receiver situation is because I thought the Kyle Juszczyk, the Ross Dwellys, those guys would get more targets in the receiving game, more so than even the Mo Sanus, because I just feel that they're better than them. I think Juszczyk is a hell of a receiver, actually. I think we get to see it like 5-6 times a year, how good he is receiving. And yeah, I would like to see him get utilized more as a receiver. I really would. I hope that this is the game. Swan Song asks, or says, Tart clocked at 22 miles per hour last year. Was clocked the highest miles per hour for the Eagles game. Trey Lance going to get a package this Sunday night. This is a must win.
My question is this. After watching week 2, why are we confident Trey Lance is getting a package in this game? Why? What's the reason? What's the reason? I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying what's the reason?
Kyle might feel like it. He might wake up, he might eat whatever cereal he's eating, and he might like his cereal better that day, and he might feel like throwing Trey Lance in for a couple of plays.
If he wants to piss off his team. I don't know. I think it's interesting that he played week 1 and didn't play week 2. Why did he not play week 2?
Grant, let me put it to you.
Why did he not play week 2?
Let me put it to you another way, okay? The 49ers, and I want to hear your thoughts on this too, of course, Blake. But look at it this way. The 49ers are playing on Sunday Night Football, the biggest stage in the NFL. They just traded up, something that a lot of people have said they wouldn't do, but not criticized it, basically because the Niners did it. Traded up essentially 2 first-round picks and swapped a third and a third-round pick to go draft a quarterback. And then they're starting Jimmy Garoppolo, who Steve Young thinks it's very clear that they've made it to him that they don't want him to be starting. Steve Young thought that they made it very clear that they didn't want him as their starter. So when you look at all of that, wouldn't Sunday Night Football be the perfect stage to unleash this Trey package and show off what the NFL and what this team could be with Trey Lance and put everybody on notice and get Trey Lance in the conversation? Because everybody's going to be talking about this Sunday night game, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the result. Aaron Rodgers will dominate conversation with this game, but unless if Trey Lance plays. If Trey Lance plays and runs in a touchdown or, stiff arms somebody or has a real nice run play or a real nice throw down the field, can you imagine what people will be saying, Grant? They'll be talking about how Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch are geniuses for drafting him.
But this happened week 1. He played 4 snaps. He threw a touchdown pass. It was not a big success.
Grant, it's against the Lions at 12 o'clock. Nobody watches that game besides me for the last 10 years. That's why nobody knew Matthew Stafford was good. This is Sunday night.
Okay, so what are you expecting to see from Lance? I'm not disagreeing. What are you expecting to see?
I'm just throwing it out there. But I was just thinking, what do you think of that? Like the perception of it. I mean, I'm going the next. I'm with you. I'm putting on the tinfoil hat.
I'm with you. I think you're right. I get what my official stance is right now is I think Kyle wants to do that. I'm not sure he thinks he can. I'm not sure how popular that would be. Again, this is a team that's beaten the Packers when healthy. And this is a team that doesn't seem super eager to incorporate Lance. At least people on offense. I can't speak for, people on defense. But the people that have to block, the people that have to execute the zone read, I don't know. The fact that Sermon's playing could help. He seems like he pairs up with Lance's skill set very well. I don't know, man. I'm so perplexed. I feel like Kyle would love to do what Vish is describing. But I think Jimmy doesn't want this to happen. I think Jimmy was begrudgingly allowed Trey Lance to play week 1. And the fact that he played well and Lance's runs didn't work out probably allowed him to go in and be like, hey, man, like, can you just let me be the quarterback of this team? And if I mess up, by all means, but my numbers were good. Like, so far, he's got a 120 something rating. He may make it clear, like, look, I don't like this, and these people don't like it either in the locker room. Why are you messing with that? I think Kyle's in a tough spot, so he may want to do it. I feel like it would really show up Jimmy. National television.
I mean, they've showed up Jimmy. They showed up Jimmy, and after when they last time they played the Packers or with Jimmy, making him throw 8 times in the NFC.
Yeah, but now they're trying to trade Jimmy, and they're trying to. I don't know, man. I can't account for last week, and I don't think you can either. They played in week 1. They didn't play in week 2. What changed? And they needed him in week 2.
Kyle's feelings.
It's true. The answer is that's what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted to do.
Grant, Blake, what do you think?
Well, I think the only thing I would say is if they do show Trey Lance and he looks really good, then wouldn't everyone be like, why is this guy not starting? Like, you really traded all this and you're not going to start him? Like, what about that? What about that aspect of it? Because you could plant the seed wow, they're going to be dangerous with Trey Lance. But on the other hand, you're like, if you're so dangerous with him, why is he not starting? Why is Jimmy there?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Blake. Just things I've heard from the national media or the people in the media, who really go back and watch tape and stuff like that, and then DMs I've gotten from people over the last week or so. People who went back and watched the Eagles game and didn't watch it live were already asking that question. They saw the 2 missed screens, him double clutching the screen to Debo with nobody around him throwing the screen low and away to Juszczyk when he's wide open, the miss to Sanu, the miss to Sherfield. And they see those and the miss to Debo on the out that should have been a pick 6, and they're already asking that question. I personally think overall he played a solid game, but people are already asking that question based on week 2.
Real quick, let me just see what Garoppolo's career numbers are against Green Bay.
They're probably pretty good.
Oh, this is only 1 game. Oh, they don't have it. They're really good. But I mean, that's what he can say is Kyle, I'm 2-0. I always kill the Packers. Give me a chance. Don't bring in Lance yet. And I could see Kyle having it saying, okay, well, you're going to need to do better than you did against. But I mean, I don't know. I don't expect to see Lance. I'm not getting my hopes up. I want to, but I'm not getting my hopes up.
Because here's my thing. If they don't use the package in this game, I think it's very dangerous to unleash it against the division opponents. It's a risky move.
Yeah. Well, I hope they do.
Because if he's not comfortable and then his first game is thrown in against Seattle, and because every game versus Seattle and the 49ers and the Cardinals and all his playoff caliber, they're very physical games. You throw him in there, it could be a tough spot to throw anybody in there.
Did you see that I asked Kyle today about Aaron Rodgers? Said it was the best thrower he's ever seen. He said, well, tied for the best. He wouldn't say tied with, but I would think he meant Elway. His dad coached Elway.
Did Tom Brady die? Where's he?
I don't know. That's what he said. And I guess Ben Allen in the comments says I made Bleacher Report.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't wait to see what he says about Matthew Stafford and his throwing in November.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
No, I'm joking, but we have a couple more questions we got to get to. Grant, I know you need to go. Do you still have time?
I'll give you a couple. Let's do 5 more since I bounced on you. Let's do 5 more minutes.
Oh, appreciate that, Grant. Greg Thames, appreciate the donation. Greg, appreciate all the donations, actually. Very kind of all of you. But guys, with all the QBs going down throughout the league, do you think that is why Kyle wanted to keep Jimmy? Great show. Grant, Blake, who wants to take this?
I'll go. No, he wants to win. I don't think that.
Yeah,
I don't think he's playing this a big ploy to up Jimmy's trade value. He wants to win. That's his goal as the head coach. He's not ooh, I'm gonna boost Jimmy's stats for these games and then trade him. I just don't understand that line of thinking. I think that's just way too deep. His main priority is just winning as many games as he possibly can with whatever quarterback he thinks is better to start right now.
Grant or
yeah. Also, I don't think that Lance was his first choice. So if you're down to your third choice, man, this is awful. Anyway, yeah, I don't think Lance was figured out. Oh man.
So I'm 100% with Blake on this. I don't think that he has. If Kyle Shanahan was so good that he can play 3D chess with the NFL, which winning week to week in the NFL is maybe the hardest thing to do in all of sports. If he can play 3D chess where he just ups a quarterback's trade value and makes a quarterback look good when he wants and stuff, he wouldn't have 3 losing seasons in 4 because that means he can just mess around and win with whatever roster he wants. He's just trying to win right now. And he's trying to win with, and Jimmy is starting, and he's trying to win with Jimmy. I think that's all there is to it, personally.
Oh, real quick, I think he thinks he could win with Sam Darnold. I think
that too.
He could win with a lot of quarterbacks, but the complication here is that Jimmy has the locker room, and we don't. He has the locker room. End of story. And you can't just get rid of him for Andy Dalton. I mean,
and I think it's tough for him to sell too.
A lot of people.
And it's tough for him to sell too, because a lot of people have mentioned it. I push back against it, but the facts are that he's won with Jimmy and he hasn't won with Jimmy. So you can understand why the locker room may I don't know if they do. Grant keeps saying they do.
I don't know. I just think it seems pretty clear. I mean, I'm talking about the offense. The offense. There's a lot of vets on that offense. A lot of people who've played a lot of games with Jimmy. I mean, they're pretty clear in their press conferences. Kittle. McGlinchey, they don't really hide it. I don't think you have to read between the lines. I'm not saying I'm in the locker room. I'm not. Just the vibes I'm getting from sitting in front of them when they talk about Jimmy and Trey.
Fair.
Other people pick up on it too.
Greg is asking, he's saying it's to keep us safe from injuries. I think keeping safe from injuries is one thing, but like paying Jimmy Garoppolo $25 million just as injury insurance, or as that was the insurance, I don't think that's the case. I disagree with what Joe Montana, the great Joe Montana, said, saying they drafted Trey Lance because they've had injury issues at the quarterback position in the past. I think that's, if you have injury issues in the past, that's why you signed the Case Keenum, the Andy Dalton.
I interviewed Joe Montana on my channel before the draft, and he said the Niners need to get a young quarterback. So all of a sudden, he's Team Jimmy. What's that about?
I'm more Team Steve Young. I like what he's been saying on this topic.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. Hey, I hope you're right, and that Trey gets to play on Sunday Night Football. That'd be really cool. I hope you're right, because honestly, I think they're going to need him to win the game.
You think so?
I think they're going to need something else. I mean, if they can get Kittle involved downfield from Jimmy, great, but they need something else. The whole just Debo offense isn't enough. I don't think. Because they got Devontae Adams.
Swan Song says Kyle could sell this to the team because of all the injuries in the backfield and going against the MVP. We need to put up more than 17 points this game. They will do that. I would be.
What they're going to say is we've scored 37 against this defense with Jimmy. This team. I don't know. We got to see. They got to get Kittle on board with Trey Lance. I think that one's clear. And maybe the fact that Kittle is only getting screen passes is Kyle being like, I don't know, man. How long you want to go with this? If you want Jimmy, these are the passes you're going to get. It's all I can call for you. I'm sorry. It's all we got. It's all we got. I don't know. That's my favorite conspiracy theory right now, is that Kyle is simultaneously pumping up Jimmy's trade value, but showing the rest of the team, guys, this is all I can call. I'm sorry. 7 yards and in, unless you're going over the middle. Otherwise, we do have another guy. We do have another quarterback who could do other stuff, but you guys don't want him. And I totally understand. So this is what we're going to do this week. You don't like that? Oh, well, Anyway, Kyle, I hope you're doing that, because that is 4D chess. That is 7D chess.
Before you go, my man Jamal Armstrong, excuse me. I said Adams for some reason. I guess I was thinking about the Seahawks. But he is coming back at you, and he says, Kyle doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that wouldn't play Trey just because the guys in the locker room may or may not be backing Jimmy. Kyle.
Hold on. I'm with you, Jamal. And Belichick wouldn't care. But Kyle is a coach with a losing record. And one of the things he has going for them is he has the locker room in his corner. I don't think he's as popular in the locker room as Jimmy is, but he has the locker room. They love him. They trust him. And if he starts doing stuff that they find that they don't agree with, I don't think they agree with the trade, or a lot of them didn't. They might start being like, hey, man, dude, we win with Jimmy. You don't win without Jimmy. I'm starting to lose confidence in your judgment. And I think that's something you don't take for granted, especially if you lost the Super Bowl and didn't win it.
Yeah. So, Grant,
You heard what Jimmy
appreciate
Ward
you.
said about the Rams getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo of Jared Goff? He was like, I don't really get that. They won with Jared Goff. Are you sure that they can replicate that? To me, what Ward was talking about at that moment wasn't the Rams. He was talking about the Niners. It's like, we won with Jimmy. Are you sure you can replicate that? Like, I think it's pretty easy. We could all say, like, well, yeah, we've seen 10 years of Matthew Stafford. Yes. But we don't know with Trey Lance. No one knows with Trey Lance. And it's a scary unknown. And I think a lot of people on this team are like, well, I'm not ready to even do that experiment. This works. Let's wait. I think that's what's happening. And I think Kyle is much more gung-ho than the role. I mean, I think he's right there with us. But it's a difficult. What would you do if you were Kyle? Would you just do whatever you wanted to do and say, you know, screw it? If they don't like me, they don't like me. Screw it.
Blake?
I mean, if he's like the boy genius, boy wonder that he's been made out to be, I don't know. I think, you know, he's a big boy.
They'll get on board eventually. I'll be right.
Really,
they'll get on board.
He's
But I mean,
really
like,
right.
for Trey to succeed, you need buy-in from his teammates. You need buy-in.
If he balls out, do you need
They
buy-in?
need to block for him. They need to catch his passes. Just
So
saying.
they try
I'm
less.
not
if
saying
he
they
was there.
sabotage him, but you need buy-in. You need 100% buy-in.
So if I was Kyle, I wanted to let's say I wanted to throw him in there. I would just throw him in there. I'm the head coach of this team.
Yeah.
He's the most powerful man in this organization. Like, he is the guy who runs the show.
And that's what
He's
he
the
did
guy in
week
charge
one.
of the 53-man roster. If you don't like
What he
if
did?
you don't like my decisions, cut. If you
That's
don't
what
like
he
my
did week
decisions,
one.
cut. If you don't like
He
my
gave-
decisions, see ya.
He gave the first red zone throw to Trey. That's my team. And then he didn't do it week 2. I don't get it. Something happened. I think there was a discussion, a meeting, something. Because you would only expect to go from 4 snaps to 6 or 8 week 2. But to go from 4 to 0, something happened. And we'll never know. I got to go, though. Dun, dun, dun. To be continued. Until next time. Hey, thanks, guys. It's a lot of fun. Sorry,
Thank you,
that was
man.
very
Thank you.
unprofessional of me. I'm really sorry. I really
No worries at all. We, of course, always appreciate your time.